Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got a game in the Scharnhorst for you, the fan favorite. We haven't covered it for a while. There's my build now. I got a speed slash reload build on this thing. We're going to see about a 15-second reload on the Scharnhorst. There's the ship build for you. New map, hotspot. We got a domination mode match. And this game is a pretty well played game all around. We're going to take the top score here, but we cannot win this game without the efforts of our team. In fact, the guys in the division there, the pair of Achikovs, they're going to come up clutch throughout the match. And, I can't really keep an eye on the eastern side of the map, but overall, this is a pretty fun game to play. Hopefully you enjoy it. Here we're going to be moving in to see. We got 2 destroyers per team now. Unfortunately, both of our destroyers are on the east. That's a little bit problematic over here because we're not going to get spotting, but Scharnhorst, like a lot of the German ships, tend to do better the closer you can get it in. So I'm going to try and get in here close. I figure if a destroyer is rushing us, we got a pair of cruisers over here. My quick reload, potentially an opportunity to throw some torps in there. We'll just see what happens. It's a little bit of an aggressive position to open the match here, but winds up working out. If you happen to be in a destroyer and you notice that you're stacked like that, usually it happens when the destroyers are paired in a division. I don't like when I see destroyer like a 2-man division with both destroyers. I think that's problematic. It usually throws off the deployment. But if you notice that, you can try and branch out. Maybe one of those destroyers could come towards the middle of the map, try and spot and help us out on C, and potentially clog up the middle if anyone's trying to push in there. We're getting spotted here. I don't think it's the Scharnhorst. He's not quite within our detection range, so we should assume something else is in the area. We got a Myoko coming around here. He's broadside, and we're going to take some shots. Now, Scharnhorst, the guns, lower caliber guns, so you can have some trouble penning the battleships, but cruisers, you got to be careful of this ship. It's kind of a menace when it comes to cruisers. So, Myoko, you definitely want to be angling away there, not continuing to play broadside. We got him with a decent salvo to open. Follow-up salvo, we hit him hard again. So that takes the Myoko down, about a third of his health left. So that's a pretty good opening salvo on him. Scharnhorst on the enemy team there. He's broadside. We're going to go ahead and take a couple shots here. He's going to wind up pinning that position. Going to stay over there. So we're going to encounter him and duel him later as the match goes on. A pretty good Scharnhorst v. Scharnhorst duel. But keep an eye on his positioning. We're getting plane spotted currently. That's alright. We're not really that worried. I'm trying to back up here now because we got at least the Myoko over there. I'm seeing more shots. That doesn't look like a Myoko's salvo to me. So we potentially have another cruiser over there. Cleveland coming over here. Another dangerous cruiser. So by backing up, we're taking the guys to the right on the other side of that right-hand island. We're taking their ability to hit us out of play. If you're going to fight the Cleveland 1v1 over here, that's a battle that favors us. Even though the Cleveland is a DPM monster, it's one of the most dangerous ships in the game. Armor-wise, we have the advantage in this situation. So we're backing up, making sure that, number one, we're not getting torped because we still suspect there's a destroyer, and you can see C is in the process of getting captured. That's a pretty good clue that we got something over here. Shots from over there, and the Myoko's continuing to push northward. So he went all the way west, and now he's going northward, and we're going to go ahead and try and punish that again. With this quick reload, you got to understand, even using a standard build, you got plenty of options with your builds when it comes to the Germans, but the Scharnhorst is always going to have a quicker reload than most battleships, so you got to be prepared for that. You got to be aware, and you got to protect yourself. So he's finally angling away now that he's got about 10k health left, and we're just going to go ahead and move forward. I'm suspecting probable torpedo strike incoming from that ship, just because, he's got the opportunity to launch those as he's turning away here. So assuming he was trying to torp us when we're backing up, now we gun it forward, hoping to dodge those shots. We do have an opportunity to shoot him. He's angled. Again, low caliber guns, not a high likelihood of great damage there. Plus the Fletcher spot, and we want to chime in. Now we do have a pair of Achikovs over here, and they're pummeling them full of damage, but we want to get the ship off the board. Removing the destroyers, key part of the strategy in pretty much every game. The destroyers are the scoring pieces. They're the ones that are responsible for getting on the caps and controlling the caps. This game's going to definitely come down to score, at least for the majority of the match. So if we can get him, and our team's doing a great job shooting him, that's going to go a long ways. Cleveland's getting low. He's got about 11, 12k health there. Go ahead and take a salvo. and we want to keep an eye on the Atlanta. Now, we're not necessarily that worried about being broadside to the cruisers. A little bit more worried about that Scharnhorst. That's why I'm pulling forward. Once again, we're utilizing this island cover, minimizing who can shoot us. You can see here the Scharnhorst no longer has a shot, so even though we're broadside towards him, not necessarily a problem. We definitely want to take this Atlanta out. We want to take the Cleveland out if possible. But at this point in time, I'm kind of committed towards going around this side of the island. I could stop, back up, but that's going to take 1 or 2 minutes. That's going to take a little while. We still have the Achikas. They're primarily responsible for covering C in my mind. I think their biggest mistake, excuse me, in this game is they both kind of go around the far side of that island, and that's going to allow Red to actually, I can't remember if they capture the base or get pretty close, but you know, we got a low health Atlanta, we got a low health Cleveland over there. They don't necessarily need to be that afraid of them. They need to be afraid of the Scharnhorst, no doubt about it. We've demonstrated so far that the Scharnhorst dangerous to cruisers. So I'm assuming they're trying to protect themselves from that. But again, we want to be pressuring C. We'd even like to capture it if possible. I don't think with the Scharnhorst there, capturing the base is likely at this point in time. But you can see the far cap on B much more heavily contested. And Red's going to go ahead and take that as the match develops. So once we're down caps, we got to be focusing on the ones that we can control. We definitely want to get control of C as quickly as possible. I'm moving in here, though. I want to dislodge this Scharnhorst because I think he's what's causing these guys anxiety. So if I can do my part to either sink this guy or draw his attention away from them, then they can rush those low health cruisers, get the cap, and take control of the side of the map. So we're going to be opening here. I'm going to make a semi-risky move turning away from this guy, but I don't want to close into him. Of course, we don't want to push into battleships that have torpedoes. He's pushing into us. We're, of course, trying to torp him. And if I can flip around, then I can get the other side torpedoes in play. So he had potential to whack us pretty hard there. Wouldn't have been catastrophic, I don't think. It would have been a heck of a shot if it would have really dinged us down. But he only had his front guns engaging us, and we really didn't take much damage at all there. So we're going to go ahead and flip back, get those torps in the water. You see there, he immediately responds. He's trying to do the same thing. Both of these ships are kind of doing the classic torping off both sides. If you see ships flipping around like a fish like this, you got to assume torpedoes are in the water. The Scharnhorst, both of our Scharnhorsts were obviously intent on hitting each other with torps. He makes a little bit of a mistake here over angles. I think he's trying to get some torpedo strike in the water. So we go ahead and punish that. We don't get devastating strikes, of course. Can't citadel the Scharnhorst really with any ship at this distance, but definitely not this one. So we're aiming up, trying to hit the mid-deck superstructure, dodging the torps. You can see his salvo coming in here. We already know that. We got to assume it's in the water. We already got to be reacting to it. So I was already turning to angle towards these torps well before they popped up on the screen here. Now I'm noticing problems on the side. You can see we're down 3 caps to 1. That's a huge problem, but you can see my team's kind of overloaded over there. They're losing pretty bad. Definitely want to take the Scharnhorst out, though. So he's low. We got secondaries going off on each other. A lot of damage being traded there, but we come out on top. Now I have an option to support over here or help resolve C. What do you want to do in that situation? Well, you got to think to yourself, which side can we resolve quicker? Which can we have a more immediate impact? So by helping these guys out with the Cleveland, yeah, I'm sure the Achikovs can likely kill this cruiser and the Atlanta, but we want to get this going as quick as possible because, again, down 3 caps to 1, the longer that situation persists, the less likely we are to come back. You can see we're up a ship, or we were until down there, and now we're tied, and now we're down 110 points or whatever, and that's just due to the cap control. So, once again, we're moving into position here. Atlanta's moving across the island to basically take our ability to hit him out of play. So that's fine. We're assuming the Achikovs will get him. There he goes. And now they're going to do a great job immediately flipping C. And then one of those Achikovs is going to go down to D. He's going to recognize, all right, this is probably a situation where score is likely to come into play. So he's going to do a good job there. The other one's going to move to the east, coming over here to support. But look at the situation. More or less a full health Vlad versus us. We're very low. We got about a quarter of our health. We still got an Iowa over there. We're going to check him out as soon as we can. But he's going to have a hard time. He's got a Wichita, he's got a Siegfried, and he's got an angled Vlad. So even though, assuming he maintains angle, and assuming he doesn't get torped, which I actually believe he will get torped, but operating under those assumptions, he's still going to have a 3v1. They're still going to be able to out DPM him and take him down. So we want to chime in here as quickly as possible. Got to be paying attention to our health. We're very low. Wichita could kill us here, and we need to be careful of that. So I'm going to turn in disengage. We drop spot there. Don't want our health to get too low, so I think we're going to use the damage con here in a moment just to make sure that we're not, in the 5,000 range or whatever that could potentially kill us with one salvo. But here, very low. The heal's almost up, so we're just kind of trying to wait that out here, and luckily we were able to withstand that. Wichita's kind of committed to, he doesn't want to push us necessarily either. He recognizes this is a difficult situation. We got torps into that gap, not necessarily aimed at where that guy was going or anything, but we want to get them there just in case once we drop spot he decides to pursue us through that gap. Maybe they would hit him, maybe not. But here we're just kind of content to let the situation slow down. You can see the cruisers going into D. The other cruisers coming over here to support. Iowa is having problems, as expected. We already knew that the Iowa was very likely to go down. So when we're evaluating ships, we're looking around, comparing the healths. You just have to assume in these situations, the Iowa, even if he plays really well, he's almost for sure going to go down. That's, of course, a 100-point swing. So in that case, they'd be up about 150 points, give or take. So that's a pretty big deficit at this point in time. If we go down as well, that's another 100 points, and then our team might be in trouble here. We'd have two Achikovs versus a Vlad. They could potentially get wrecked by him. And, of course, Siegfried and Wichita. Those are dangerous ships as well. We're getting radared or sonared. Now, I'm trying to wait the radar out, but as the duration of the radar expires, we're still going to be detected. It's the same icon for sonars or radars. Radars usually last for 30 seconds or less, oftentimes less. Sonars, much longer duration. So we can assume he was using the sonar. I'm just trying to back up, and I did back up there. Got out of the sonar range. Now we drop spot. He doesn't know exactly where we are. Iowa goes down. Once again, we're capturing D. Great job by our teammate there. And that's going to make it a 3-1 advantage. And once that's the situation, we got 3 minutes left. Probably want to kill one more ship just to get those points from the ship, just to make sure that the score is going to go in our favor. But at that point, once we get one more ship, then we can pretty much rest assured, as long as we don't die, then we're going to win on score. So slow playing here, making sure we don't die. I know roughly where that Wichita is, and now that the Achikov is pushing in, he's going to be spotted. Now, Achikov pushing into Wichita, you can place your bets. I don't necessarily think he needs to be rushing that situation there, but maybe he recognizes that both the Siegfried and the Vlad blocked because they went around that big island over there. They can't support. So it's basically a Wichita, low health Wichita versus the Achikov. Again, our ships going down is how we're going to lose the game. So, you got to account for that. And you got to understand it's kind of a risky play. I thought the Wichita was going to be the one spotting us. Siegfried comes around. Siegfried is dangerous. He's got the AP loaded. We're trying to be angled against both these ships, but he still whacks us pretty hard there, and he almost takes us down. We trade shots with him, though. Achikov's piling in. We got the Wichita with the torps, as we kind of knew he was trying to back up away from the Achikov to disengage there. Got one more salvo off in the Siegfried, and between me and the Achikov, down he goes. And now we have 3-1. We're about to have 4 caps. Again, the order of the day is stay alive. Achikov, close. The Achikov to our east, close to the Vlad. So I'm going to be telling these guys, get back, get back, get back. And they're going to respond in kind. They're going to do a great job making sure they don't go down here. And we're just going to ride the clock out. We got 1:20 left. Don't have to do anything flashy. All 3 of these ships are going to get great scores. It's a very good game. This is a game that if you don't play it carefully and you're not keeping an eye on the scoreboard, not keeping an eye on the game situation, very easy to lose those games. And those are the most frustrating type of games. When you've got the win set up, you've done the work, you put in the work to make sure that the win conditions are present, and then people start dying just because they're trying to go get more damage. So excellent awareness by these 2 players, doing a great job understanding that what needs to be done and then executing that play. So that's a pretty good look at the Scharnhorst, in my opinion. Kind of a brawling situation. We're up tiered in this game, so you got to be a little bit careful when you're moving in that situation. You got to understand that tier 7 armor against these low caliber tier 6 German battleship guns. A lot of times you're going to have trouble dinging up the battleships. Every shot we shot at that Vlad was pretty much all blocks. Maybe we got a couple oddball bits of damage here and there, but nothing to write home about. So that's why we're mainly targeting the cruisers, mainly targeting the destroyers, and kind of going for close-in brawling type situations when we're forced to deal with battleships. That's when the Scharnhorst is kind of in its main element there. So that's a look at the Scharnhorst for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships. It's coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.